Welcome, everyone. Let's just dive right into this explainer, because today we are breaking down one of the most anticipated, emotionally charged, and honestly, tactically fascinating matches in recent World Cup history, the July 6th round of 16 clash in Dallas between Spain and Portugal. Now, this match promised absolute fireworks, but what it actually delivered was a total masterclass in tension, culminating in a crazy injury time 1-0 victory for Spain thanks to Mikel Merino. But, this match was about way more than just a late goal. It was literally the definitive end of an era and the undeniable cementing of a historic, maybe even unprecedented defensive wall. So let's explore exactly how the anatomy of a clean sheet allowed Spain to completely shut down Portugal and advance. 41. Just think about the sheer gravity of that number for a second. Right after the final whistle blew in Dallas, the cameras immediately found Cristiano Ronaldo standing dead center in the middle of the pitch, head bowed. At 41 years old, he had confirmed just the night before this match that this was going to be definitively his final World Cup. And you guys, the devastation was just written all over him. You are looking at a player who has given absolutely everything to the sport, suddenly staring down the absolute finality of that number. 41 years of age, and the realization that the ultimate prize in global football, well, it's going to forever remain just out of reach. The dream is officially over for Portugal's captain, and he ends his World Cup career with an unbelievable individual record, 11 goals across 27 matches. In fact, he is the first player in the entire history of the sport to score in 6 different World Cup tournaments. I mean, think about the longevity and the sheer attacking brilliance that requires. The records, the milestones, all those historic achievements, they are safely locked away in the history books. But the one collective trophy he always wanted, the World Cup itself, will never be his. The road for Portugal's greatest ever player completely ended on that pitch in Dallas. Section 1. The end of an era. Let's look at this round of 16 matchup. 70,000 fans packed into the stadium in Dallas to witness this highly anticipated clash, and everyone knew exactly what was on the line here. This was an absolute clash of extremes. On side A, you've got Ronaldo's attacking legacy, this unstoppable, historic force, right? A guy who's literally made a career out of willing his team to victory with 11 goals in 27 World Cup matches. But then, on side B, you have Spain's defensive reality. And guys, we're talking about an immovable object here. Going into this match, Spain had built a defensive foundation so rock solid, it was bordering on the absurd. It was the ultimate test, the greatest goal scorer of his generation, facing down a team that simply refused to concede. Section 2. Spain's historic defensive wall. An unprecedented defense. So to really understand this match, we have to examine some era-defining statistics. 34. Spain entered this knockout match carrying an astonishing 34-match unbeaten streak. In international football, where squads constantly rotate, where managers have super limited time to drill their defensive philosophies, and where literally one bad bounce can send you packing, being unbeaten in 34 straight matches is almost unfathomable. It shows a level of tactical discipline and a structural integrity that runs deep through the entire squad, from the starting 11 all the way down to the very last substitute. And then zero. 0 goals conceded by Spain throughout this entire tournament leading up to the final whistle against Portugal. Not one. Despite facing some of the most dynamic attacking talent in the entire world, Spain's defense, anchored by goalkeeper Unai Simon, had not picked the ball out of the back of their own net once. They completely neutralized every single threat thrown at them, basically turning their half of the pitch into an absolute fortress. 6. By shutting out Portugal, Spain achieved 6 consecutive clean sheets at the World Cup. This is a brand new world record. Actually, let me repeat that because it's super vital to your understanding of this explainer. They are the first team in the entire history of the sport to ever achieve 6 consecutive clean sheets in a World Cup. They didn't just beat Portugal, they etched their names into the defensive history books forever. They proved for sure that a perfectly executed defensive system can completely suffocate even the most desperate and talented of opponents. Section 3. The match turning point. Breaking the deadlock. Now, despite this overwhelming defensive dominance on paper, the match itself was incredibly tense. It was a really cagey affair where both teams were effectively canceling each other out for long stretches, just waiting for a specific catalyst to break the game wide open. In the first half, neither team gave an inch. Oyarzabal pulled a golden chance wide for Spain, while Nuno Mendes literally rattled the crossbar for Portugal right before halftime. But the real turning point? Minute 56. Up until this exact moment, Spain's 18-year-old superstar Lamine Yamal was being completely shut down by Nuno Mendes. But then, Mendes goes off injured. Suddenly, the entire dynamic shifts. The game opens up. Yamal finally has space. Portugal begins to sit deeper and deeper, and you can just sense Spain's smelling blood in the water as that clock ticks closer to 90. And that brings us right to the 91st minute, the climax of the match. Let's break down exactly how Spain unlocked that deadlock, and I want you to notice how it was driven entirely by fresh legs. Step 1. Substitute Ferran Torres breaks down the left flank, totally exploiting those tired Portuguese legs. Step 2. He slips a perfectly weighted, precise pass right into the box. Step 3. Mikel Merino, another substitute who had the vision to run beyond the defenders, meets the ball perfectly. One touch, a low finish directly into the bottom corner. The Dallas crowd absolutely erupts. The Spanish players just mob Merino. It was a surgical, devastating strike in injury time to make it 1-0. Section 4. What champions look like. Quarterfinals bound. While Portugal was obviously left devastated, Spain's performance completely defined championship pedigree. So what should you really take away from all this? Well, Spain's impenetrable defensive foundation has officially secured their advance to the quarterfinals in Los Angeles. And they're packing their bags carrying a brand new world record of 6 consecutive clean sheets. Not to mention, they are riding a 34-match unbeaten streak. Because of this structural brilliance, this unique ability to completely suffocate an opponent while just waiting patiently to strike, they're now widely considered the absolute favorites to win this entire tournament. They prove that defense doesn't just win matches, it breaks the will of legends. Which leaves us with a massive question to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. I mean, look at those defensive numbers. Look at the streak. Look at how these systematically dismantled Portugal's attack and effectively closed the book on the Cristiano Ronaldo era. So I really want to ask you, is this Spain squad the greatest defensive World Cup team we have ever seen? And was this dramatic, defensively suffocating match the right, or maybe even inevitable, ending for Ronaldo? I'd really love to know what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our full quarterfinal coverage as Spain heads to LA. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.